Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going I'm going to be reviewing Big City Greens Season 1 Episode 12A called Barracuda. And later today I'll be doing Big City Greens Season 1 Episode 12B called Sweet Retreat. And I have it's like a couple seconds of a song. It is a video called 10 Hours of Barracuda. When you listen over and over and over again, it kind of gets annoying, but I like Barracuda's voice, so I think it's pretty funny, and I like the music, so I'm gonna be playing like a couple seconds. Hopefully it won't be too long, but so hoping. But Sweet Retreat will have images and stuff, but So, before we get to Cricket holding Barracuda, we see, sorry, before I, do this, I want to mention, I passed my driving exam. So now I can go to the DMV and, get my driver's license. And I know this has nothing to do with this channel at all, but it's part of my life. I even made a video of my main channel that I haven't posted in like almost 3 months, I think. So, and that's like where I usually talk about important stuff that happened in my life. But I just thought I'd talk about it here. So, I passed my driving exam today, so that's great. So I had to make an appointment at the DMV, take my picture and stuff, and get my driver's license. And now I can drive by myself. That's gonna be fun. It'll be my first time, but it'll be fun. But anyway, we see back to the review. We see Bill, Tilly, and Alice playing cards. I forgot what game were they playing. Goldfish? Yeah, probably. I think they were playing Goldfish, and yeah, I remember. Yeah, they were playing Goldfish, and then Cricket's like, "Hey guys, look what I got!" And they're like, "Oh, what do you have, Cricket?" And it's like, and I like the continuity. Is that Cricket still has the job at Big Coffee? Remember, at Critter Balls, he got a job. In the episode after, what was it called? Parade Day. I think so. I might have gotten I know there's parade, and it's like, yeah, I think it's called Parade Day. Hopefully, I'm saying the correct episode title, but yeah, Parade Day. We see Cricket working there, and now he's saying, "I got my first paycheck." That's nice, even though he's 10 years old. That's nice. I got my first paycheck, and this is the first item that I bought with my own money, and Cricket's proud of that. And I was like, wow, that's development for him, even though he's like obsessed with this thing, the Barracuda. He like, I wanted to do something special with my basically my paycheck, and I was gonna save it, but I'm still a kid, and I found this thing, and since it's my own money, like, I could basically get what I want with it, that's decent, basically. And he's like, "I got this talking fish, this singing fish. It's called Barracuda. You get it?" He even says, "Get it?" And so, oh yeah, and then it's funny, and he plays the song, and look at Cricket's face. He's just so happy. Look at them. They're just like, okay, like, they don't really care. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too long, but basically you gotta, bit of his voice, and Cricket was dancing to it, and the family's just playing cards, like ugh, are you guys enjoying this? And that's all you guys are gonna see, because the whole video, this whole strand right here, that of what I was playing, is just 10 hours of him singing. So I don't want you guys to get irritated. Probably you guys will love it. It's on Disney Channel, the YouTube channel. Go listen to all you want. I can listen to probably at most 30 minutes to an hour. Even though I love this, I'll probably get sick of it too. So listen to your own risk if you love it. Which I do, but limits. But anyway, and Cricket's like, oh, I love you, Barracuda, and and then Bill is like, okay, well, you enjoy that. We're still gonna play Goldfish, and it's like, oh, Tilly's, what was it? Do you have any like sevens? Is that what was it? Like sevens? And Tilly's like, what? I said, do you have any sevens? And your grandma, Alice is like, were you talking to me, boy? Your Tilly's like, no, he was talking to me. They're talking over the Barracuda, but it's so loud. And they, oh, that's it, we're done. And they're like, and Cricket's like, they still listen to the Barracuda. And Alice is like, painting her fake leg toenails for some reason. Okay. And like Barracuda came by because she's like, oh, like you had to be like delicate with it, and it's paint everywhere, and she's like Bill is like carving some wood, which looks pretty nice. I wish I can show it, but I can't. And it was like a deer, and oh, you gotta be very precise and very gentle. And Cricket's Barracuda comes in, he's like, whoosh, and chops his head off. He's like, ah. And what was Tilly doing? It was something with the animals. I'm sorry, I forgot, but Cricket interrupts that, and Tilly's like, and Cricket goes to the bathroom, and it's like, and Barracuda stops, because, you have to press the button again. He's like, oh, Barracuda, it makes my heart sad when you stop singing, so I'll make sure you never stop singing. But, he basically presses like the button again. He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, so stay right here. Don't go anywhere. And he just goes in, and you see like a shadow over it. And and Cricket's like, Barracuda, ooh, Barracuda. Yeah, I like that gem too. It's really funny, and it's also awesome. And then you hear a whoosh, and like, oh, like what was that? And Cricket opened the door. And he washing his hands and stuff. He opened the door, and he's like, oh, Barracuda, and you see like an axe in him. Like, oh my gosh, and and Cricket's like, oh my gosh, like, and I actually like this visual effect where Cricket, when he was taking the axe out of Barracuda, and he accidentally let it go, it hit the picture frame that was behind him, where the axe hit in between Cricket and the rest of the family as the beginning of the divide. I was like, oh, that's really good storytelling. It's right when the family basically saying like, oh, Cricket, what's going on? Alice, Tilly, and Bill like, oh, what was going on? And it's like, oh, someone accidentally hit Barry with an axe. And he's like, oh, he's dead. And they're like, oh, wow. Like, they're kind of pretending to be sad. And is it, no, it's not dead. It was just chopped up a little bit. He's still singing. And he's like, oh, you've survived, Barry, that accident. And he's like, wait a minute, it was an accident. This was no accident. This was murder. This is basically a murder mystery episode. And this is a pretty good one. He's like, oh, this actually threw me through a loop. I was like, who was it? But, basically, it's like, oh, one of you murdered Barry. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how. Like, seriously, why? He just loves it. But I'm going to find out who. And they're just staring at each other like, oh, okay. And he calls Remy in. So, and we get Remy this episode. Awesome. I love Remy. And he was in what was it? He wasn't in Supermarket Scandal. He was in Gargoyle Gals. He was in a little bit. He was in like the beginning and the end. So we got him Gargoyle Gals, and now we got him in Barracuda, which is nice. He got a bigger role here. And Cricket, basically is like, like with Remy. And this is like something like I didn't like. It was kind of weird. He's like, Cricket is like, hey, Remy, I know this is awkward and everything. Like, my old best friend with my new best friend Barracuda. And Remy's like, oh, I was your old best friend. Like, okay, I guess it's kind of not mad at Cricket because he's kind of going through like a distraught time, I guess, where he's trying to solve the mystery. But Remy saying I was your old best friend, wouldn't you think he would be more concerned about it? Is that just me? I don't know. I might go back on it, but for now I'm gonna take a point off. But I'm like, I might change my mind. And it's like a little bit that was kind of weird. But anyway, he's like, and Remy's like, oh, like this is way past my bedtime. Oh, this is a bit dangerous. Like oh, I never stayed up this late. And Cricket's always gonna get more dangerous. Once we find a murderer, basically, Cricket's like, okay, we need to find someone like who hated Barracuda, and Cricket suspected Tilly first, and because they're the most closest, and he's like, oh, Tilly, like I suspected you, you are the murderer of Barracuda, and Remy's like, oh, hey Tilly, he's kind of tired, and he's like, Tilly's like, Cricket, I didn't murder Barracuda. Is it yes, and I'll tell you how. And it's like, you were a beautiful singer, and she's like, oh, thank you, and oh, you were pretty talented. Oh, wow, thanks, Cricket. But you got you're de-shined by Barracuda's beautiful singing voice, and this is kind of true. We haven't heard Tilly. No, actually, we did hear sing. We did hear sing in the episode Mama Bird, but all the other times she's been like an actress. But some actresses are also singers also. So saying Tilly has a beautiful voice is not too far off. And since she did actually sing in Mama Bird, she was singing to the babies. Spoiler. But basically he's like, oh, you got outshined by Barracuda's beautiful singing voice. You see Cricket in a suit, and Barracuda with what was it, like a bowler hat? He's like, Tilly's like, oh, you guys so jealous. You went so far to murder, and you took an axe and you chopped him up. You axe Barry, Tilly. And Tilly's like, no, Cricket, I didn't do any such thing. I didn't do that. Like, sorry, it wasn't me. And Remy fell asleep, and it's like Remy, like, what are you doing? It's like, huh? Where's Barracuda? Where's Barry? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep, and you what was it? What happened? Oh, right. Basically, Cricket is hearing Barracuda sing, and he basically, went into the kitchen, and you see that there's like a fire, and it's burning the fish. One, I thought it was funny, but two, you left the open flame unattended, whoever the murderer is, and you find out who the murderer is, like who actually did it, and like, well, I don't want to condone doing that. Yeah, I'm definitely taking point out for that. Don't leave a fire unattended. I don't care if you're a murderer of a fish. Don't do it. And and Cricket had to put out the fire, like, oh my gosh, Barry, you're dead. It's, she's still singing, but he's kind of melted, and he's like, oh well, I guess it couldn't have been Tilly because, like, she was with us. We were interrogating her. Remy's like, oh, but must have been someone else. Oh, but who? And he's like, oh, it was by the kitchen. Grandma always cooks. And he goes to Grandma's room and say, oh, Grandma, I suspect you. And Remy's like, oh, hey, Grandma. And he's like, wait, you're not my grandma. He's like, she's so tired. And Alice is like, boy, you know better to come into my room uninvited. What are you doing? It's, oh, fess up, old lady. Fess up, Grandma. Like, you married you murdered Barracuda. Like, I was like, are you crazy, boy? Why would I do that? Like, and it's like, oh, they tried to murder. If I want something dead, it would be dead. If I tried to kill something, it would be dead. That's Grandma. That's Alice right there. And he's like, "Oh, don't play dumb with us." Like what did he say? Like last week was like Shark Week, I guess. And like she's like, "You were terrified of sharks, ah!" And you heard Barry's beautiful singing voice, but you couldn't just stop to think about the sharks and fish and things. And you just you melted Barracuda with the frying pan, and you did one of those maniacal laughs. Ha! Like he's getting all into it. Like, and I like how just like with Tilly, what supposedly happened is black and white. I kind of like it. It fits in. And Alice is like, "Boy, you don't have a script of evidence against me. Like so like don't arrest me. Like I didn't do nothing." And Craig is like, "Remy, she's lying. Arrest her. Like put handcuffs on her." And Remy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Can I arrest you?" And he's like, she's like if you want your ear to be bit off. And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Wait, which one? Your favorite one?" He's like, "No." He switched ears. Like I don't want you to do this one more. And and Alice is like, "Cricket, you don't have any evidence against me." And Cricket's like, "Oh, she's kind of right." It's Remy, and she's like sleeping in Grandma's bed, in Alice's bed. Like, "Remy, where's Barry?" And he fell asleep. "Oh, I fell asleep again." And he oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Like before Remy fell asleep, like, "Oh, if it wasn't until it wasn't Grandma, then Bill came." Like Bill came into the room. Like, "What are you guys doing here?" "Bill, you killed Barracuda." And he's like, "What? You two were old fishing buddies." And he's like, Bill's like, "How does that make any sense?" Like, I think it's just to the point where, because Tilly and Alice were innocent, Cricket just kind of wanted to find an excuse to make his father guilty, because it could have been him. Remy wasn't even here yet, so if it wasn't Tilly or his grandma, then it has to be Dad. So he kind of made something up. Usually it would take off a point, but since the circumstance, I'm gonna let it slide for now. He's like, "Oh, you two were all fishing buddies." And Bill's like, "How does that make any sense?" But then now, Barry's hanging out with me now, and you became very jealous. And then you decided to fry up Barry, and then he stopped to mourn, and then you fried him anyway. You fried Barry, and Bill's like, "Cricket, I did not fry Barry. Like, you're crazy. You're becoming delusional." And then Remy goes into Alice's bed, like, "Remy, where's Barry?" It's like, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep again." And Cricket's hearing Barry's voice, and he goes outside, and and he goes outside, and he sees Barry. "Oh, Barry, you okay?" And a lawnmower goes over him. It's like, he's like, "What the heck?" And just a lawnmower. It's like, wait. And then Barry's still alive. He's all like jacked up. He's melted. His eye is like falling out and stuff. Like, oh my gosh. And like the eye's popping out. And it's like, oh, like Barry is so like you're so okay. Like you're just all beat up, but you're okay. And it's like, wait, then who was it? It can't be Tilly. It definitely wasn't Dad and Grandma, because they were with me. Then who was it? And Remy's like, "Well, look, it has to be someone else. Like you're all out of suspects." And Cricket's like, "Oh wait," again, he's basically trying to find out who did it. And while I was first watching it, I suspected Tilly, because Tilly wasn't in the room. My own speculation where even though Cricket said Tilly was innocent, Bill and Alice were in the room. Where was Tilly? So I'm kind of like, maybe Tilly? But what about the whole axe thing? Was that her too? I don't know. Like, it's like it's throwing me through a loop. But Cricket's like, "I'm starting to think it was you, Remy." And he's like, "Oh no, I must have done it in my sleep. I'm a sleep killer." And Cricket's like, "No, never mind. You're too sweet to be a killer. Like, no, you're too nice. And um, and actually, I want to make a reference to something. I sometimes do this, but not often. I don't think. Where there were spoilers for She-Ra, I guess. There was an episode where it was called the Mer Mysteries or something, where there was a there was a character called Bo, and he basically kept on suspecting himself, and that was like throughout the like entire episode, and he was like, oh, like I must have done it, like, you know, he's like, oh, arrest me. He even like they threw a spotlight on it. You see how it worked in Big City Dreams and not in She-Ra, where Remy like is going through like where he never stayed up this late, and he thinks he's killed Barry in his sleep. And this was only like for like a couple seconds, while Bo and She-Ra was throughout the entire episode. And to me, it wasn't funny. If you found it funny, one, I don't know what to tell you, and two, okay, fine, enjoy it. But I didn't find it funny. But see, right here, Big City Greens, it works. Remy's never stayed up this late before. He's falling asleep everywhere, and it kind of makes sense for him. Like, oh no, I have a sleep schedule, but it's only for a couple seconds for Cricket saying for Cricket to say, no, you're too sweet to be a killer, and Remy's like, yeah, you're right. So again, only a couple seconds to like probably like a minute, while Bo and She-Ra, it was throughout the entire episode. But enough about that. I just wanted to make the reference of how you do right in Big City Greens and how you do wrong in She-Ra. But anyway, just my thoughts on that. I was like kind of remembering Bo's like Remy's definitely better in this situation. What was it? Cricket's like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna set a trap, and this is pretty cool. He's like, oh, we're gonna set the fish as bait, and Remy's like, and they're hiding to the couch cushions, and like they put a tape over Barry's like speaker, like the red button, I mean. And and Bill is like, oh, Barry's still singing, huh? And Cricket's like, oh, move out of the way, Dad, we're trying to find a killer. And he's like, oh, what's that, Barry? You want an axe in your head? Okay. And it threw me through a loop. I thought it was Tilly, but now it's Bill with the axe. I was like, oh my gosh, it was him? What about Tilly? She was in the room. And I was like, was it Bill and Tilly? It was like throwing me through a loop. And Alice came in. I was like, was it her? And like, she's like, oh no, stop, Bill. I was like, wait, she's trying to stop him? But she hated Barracuda. Like, it's throwing me through a loop. And he's like, oh, let me get in with some of this. And she's the one with the frying pan. And and Cricket's like, oh, it's Dad and Grandma? And then this is pretty funny where Tilly came in with the lawnmower. He's like, here's Tilly. So I was right, that was Tilly. I was like, where did Tilly fit in with this? And he's like, oh, here's Tilly. And she's like lawnmowering it, and he's like, oh, Remy, like, help me. And he just fell asleep. And he's like, oh, that boy needs his bedtime. And he just and they're Bill's like, let's get rid of him together. And Cricket gets out of the couch what was it? The couch cushion, goes in front of Barry. He's like, no, please stop. And Bill and Grandma like put away their weapons. You can't really hide the lawnmower. And and he's like, oh, Tilly's like, Cricket, it's not what it looks like. And Cricket's like, how dare you, all three of you wanted to marry, why do I keep saying that? You wanted to murder Barry Cuda. Why? And Bill's like, oh, Cricket, we know how much you love Barry, but he was just, and Grandma's like, he was just so annoying. And and Tilly's like, annoying enough to murder. And like, and Cricket said, wait, you all hated Barry? And because Cricket didn't realize it, he didn't see it like that. He would have played it less often if he knew it was bugging him that much. But he was just so obsessed with it. And and Tilly's like, we're really sorry, Cricket. And the lights go off. And you're like, oh, and Tilly, Cricket turns back on the lights, and Bill's like, wait, Bill, Barracuda, is he? And he basically pressing the button, it's not working. He even closed the eye, and the retractable eye, and and like and Alice is like, Cricket, it wasn't us. And Tilly's like, we swear. And Cricket's like, yes, I know, I killed Bear. He finally did it. Like he not finally did it. He did the final blow. And he's like, oh, And, he's like, I love Barry. I love Barry more than anything. It was the first thing I bought with my own money, with my own paycheck from Big Coffee. My first job ever. But I love you guys more. And I can't put a price on that. And they're like, aw. And like, and then Bill's like, so how did you kill Barry? And Craig's like, I took out the batteries. And until he's like, right, the batteries. And then you finally gag him. Remy's still on the couch cushion. He's like, Barracuda, Barracuda, woo. And everyone sounds like like even Cricket's kind of annoyed by it. And Remy's like, what is it? It's a catchy tune. End of episode. I didn't really like how you really didn't think to check for batteries. That was another. So I'm gonna let it slide of the whole what was it? I had two complaints basically. Sorry, I had two complaints basically. The whole batteries situation and the whole best friend thing where it's like, oh, like, you're my old best friend and like this is my new best friend. Like that was kind of weird. Was there anything else I didn't really like? I'm trying to remember. Oh no, it was a frying pan. So I'm gonna let the best friend thing like go. But the full frying pan thing of how it was let on, you could have burned the whole house down. That was grandma. You're gonna burn your farm down. So overall, 9 out of 10. I think this is still a fantastic episode. I like the murder mystery element. I like the Big Coffee element of him getting a paycheck. I liked Remy was involved with the episode. These Gargoyle Gals, he was like kind of barely in it. And Supermarket Scandal, he wasn't in it at all. And I liked how the black and white, and I love Barry's voice, and I think this was a great first half of the episode. So, 9 out of 10. Fantastic episode. Hey, alright everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys later today for Big City Greens Season 1, Episode, what was it, 12? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 12? Yeah, Episode 12B called Sweet Retreat. Alright, bye.